Just because you have the words Disney on your resume doesn't always mean work for life. Welcome to Beyond the Screen. I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 Disney Channel stars who lost everything. Number 10. Shia LaBeouf. Shia has been a controversial celebrity over the years, becoming famous as one of the hardest people to work with in Hollywood history. Like many bad apples in LA, Shia got his start on the Disney Channel. At the turn of the century, Disney released a little show called The Even Stevens. The series followed the titular Stevens family with a focus on their kids Ren and Louis, played by Christy Romano and Shia LaBeouf. The show is considered to be one of Disney's best, spanning 3 seasons and spawning an Even Stevens movie that is still one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever released. Following the show's end, Shia kept his acting career going strong, appearing in the much-loved classic Holes as the main character Stanley Yelnats, but it wasn't until his casting in the live-action Transformers series that he began to descend into madness. Since 2007, Shia's behavior as both an actor and a person has been getting worse and worse. His fellow actors have reported that Shia takes method acting way too far, and he smells terrible on set. Not to mention the several public art displays that he's gifted to the world in the mid-2010s, and who could forget his passionate motivational video where he told us that nothing was impossible and we could do it! Now, while he may still be working today, his reputation as a celebrity has certainly shifted from A-list to no thank you list. Number 9. Ashley Tisdale. Ashley was making a big name for herself in the Disney world after starring as Candy Girl Maddie on the sitcom Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Her character is considered to be one of the main reasons that the show even worked in the first place, so it was surprising to see her suddenly vanish from the acting world in the early 2010s, following the end of the High School Musical trilogy as well as her time with the Sweet Life crew. After leaving Disney briefly to film a few raunchy comedies, including the 5th entry in the Scary Movie franchise, she disappeared and fans were confused. Where did Sharpay go? Well, it turns out she decided to focus on her personal life and tie the knot with musician Christopher French in 2014. After building up a solid foundation in her relationship, she shifted her focus to a different style of art in the form of cosmetics. Ashley launched the brand Illuminate Cosmetics as well as a wellness blog called Frenchie, which led to her personal care brand called Being French. While she may have lost her fame in the Disney sense, she's rebuilt a solid career for herself in other aspects and is actually set to make a small return to the acting world in a new series for CBS called Brutally Honest. Number 8. Mitchel Musso. Mitch played Hannah Montana's best friend Oliver Oaken on the hit Disney sitcom Hannah Montana. When the show was coming to an end, he began dominating the Disney scene, being casted to voice Jeremy in Phineas and Ferb and playing one of the titular kings in Pair of Kings, and he was in something called Hatching Pete, which I think I watched, but I'm pretty sure I've repressed that memory. He seemed to be on track to following Demi Lovato as the next big thing to come from Disney. People think that about Demi Lovato, right? That's something. Unfortunately, his career came to a screeching halt in 2011 when he was arrested in Burbank, California. He neglected to slow down after being directed to by a policeman. The report said that the moment the window was rolled down, it was like a cloud of no-no juice just drop-kicked them all in the nostrils. He blew a BAL of 0.8, which for those of you who don't know means that he was hammered. He was arrested, forced to participate in a no-no juice educational program, and charged with driving under the influence. Needless to say, it doesn't really go with Disney's vibe, so he was recasted on Pair of Kings, his prank show was cancelled, and he basically got blacklisted from Disney and the rest of Hollywood. He had also been attempting to start a music career at the time, but that just kinda nosedived into a toilet. If you'd like to find him these days, just go download one of his songs. He'll be the first to do it in a while, and I'm sure he'll track you down. Number 7. Orlando Brown. That's So Raven was another series considered to be part of the golden years, aka the early 2000s of Disney. It starred Raven-Symoné as the titular character who has the ability to briefly see the future via unprompted visions. I swear, every time I explain the plot to an old Disney show, I just question who was on what when they pitched it. The show had a stellar supporting cast, including Raven's best friend Chelsea, Annalise Vanderpool, and Orlando Brown. Orlando's time as Eddie was received well with audiences, and he quickly became a fan favorite for not only his comedic abilities, but his dramatic abilities as well. After Raven wrapped up its final season, Orlando's career took a bit of a turn. Surprisingly, he was being casted as small side characters or secondary characters with minimal screen time in film and TV. In 2022, he appeared on Dr. Phil's talk show and opened up about his struggles mentally and financially. He also shocked audiences with his new look, drenched in tattoos and sporting a pair of demon eye contacts. Unfortunately, it seems that Orlando has fallen victim to the darker side of Disney stars as he was arrested for a misdemeanor after an altercation with his brother. Number 6. Demi Lovato. As most people know, Demi Lovato is known for sharing her opinions about the way the world functions and about how it affects her personally. She is also known to be on the no-no stuff. Her descent into madness was slowly documented over the years. Following her time on Sunny with a Chance and the Camp Rock series, Demi shifted her focus towards her music career, but things quickly started going downhill. Over the years, she went from Disney Channel good girl to rock and roll raven, becoming deeply engulfed by the world of substances and violence. Unfortunately, she suffered several breakdowns over the years, having to be hospitalized several times, culminating in an overdose a few years ago. Despite almost passing away, she continued her partying lifestyle and still does to this day. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when Demi lost her fans and her career, but it's clear that things no longer have a chance of being remotely sunny. Number 5. Jennifer Stone. The Wizards of Waverly Place co-star to Selena Gomez, Jennifer Stone, is another to lose their fame overnight, but it wasn't due to anything outlandish. Jennifer played the best friend of Selena Gomez's Alex Russo, Harper Finkel. Harper was a bubbly and eccentric character, usually wearing some kind of an elaborate dress made of something that really shouldn't be a dress. She played the role so well that the writers decided to make her and Alex live together in the later seasons, giving Stone as much screen time as possible. Following the cancellation of the show, she was swooped up by another channel that I'm not supposed to say the name of, but it rhymes with— oh wait, no, we can say that name now, so ha. She was swooped up by another channel and started working for Nickelodeon, casted as the babysitter slash narrator on the show Dead Time Stories. Good old-fashioned horror shows aimed at kids. Are you afraid of the dark, anybody? Huh? I miss those days. Unfortunately, that show seemed to be her last, as following the final season, she's remained fairly aloof from the public eye, appearing in small budget flicks, but mostly staying at home and taking care of her mental and physical health. Jennifer was diagnosed with diabetes in 2017 and has been participating in public outreach programs ever since. Go Finkel! Number 4. Brenda Song. London Tipton was the daughter of the man behind the chain of Tipton Hotels in the sitcom Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Brenda Song accepted the role right after she was about to start college. Little did she know that the character would consume her life years. For the next 6 years, she appeared as London on both Zack and Cody and its reboot sequel series Sweet Life on Deck for a total of 6 seasons. Following the show's cancellation in 2011, Brenda starred in a few smaller roles in films like The Social Network, as well as TV roles in shows like Scandal, New Girl, and Superstore. Brenda's still active in the acting community, just in a smaller capacity, as she traded in her Disney fame for family fortune, starting a family with her boyfriend and fellow child star Macaulay Culkin. Richie Rich and London Tipton have kids together, and that's not a TV show? Brenda is slowly making her return to the mainstream, however, as she has recently starred in a few Netflix and Hulu series, including the comedy series Dollface, where Brenda claims to have rediscovered her passion for acting. Here's hoping that this inspires Disney to make another Wendy Wu movie. If you don't know Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, that's fair. That's fair. Number 3. Christy Romano. Christy was Disney's go-to girl in the early 2000s after breaking onto the scene starring as Ren Stevens in the legendary sitcom Even Stevens. While she may have starred alongside future Transformers star and maniac Shia LaBeouf, it was Christy that stole the show. She played the character effortlessly for 3 seasons before being tapped to lend her voice to another Disney icon. Christy provided the voice of the animated super spy Kim Possible. Following the cancellation of that series in 2011, Romano actually used her new fortune to attend film school and study what goes on behind the scenes. Romano has remained outside of the acting world since that time, apart from a starring role on Broadway as Belle in Beauty and the Beast in 2018. Her most recent venture is that of a YouTube blogger, now chronicling her day-to-day life as a mom. She may not be famous anymore, but she will certainly go down as one of the Disney Channel greats. Number 2. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay starred in over 60 TV spots and commercials for brands like Gap, Pizza Hut, and Jell-O when she was just a child. But she got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic movie The Parent Trap, playing twin sisters Hallie and Annie. Hallie Parker and Annie James, who meet at a summer camp and discover that their parents split them up when they were kids. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it's a delightful little movie that still holds up. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in several cult classics like Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, and so many more. Unfortunately, her career took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she only spent 84 minutes in jail. Most movies are longer than that. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, but she not only seems to be better mentally speaking, but she is is now under contract with the streaming giant Netflix to release a few rom-com flicks over the next couple of years, so let's see how that goes. And at number 1, Jake Paul. The headline for this one sounds like a Dr. Seuss title. Jake Paul looted them all. That's right, the famous YouTuber Jake Paul was briefly a Disney star in the early 2010s, appearing on a short-lived sitcom called Bizaardvarks. In 2020, Paul was involved in a looting that took place in Scottsdale, Arizona. A riot broke out in a mall, literally surrounded by police helicopters with lights and sirens, and Jake's reaction was, "Get the camera, boys, let's go!" Video footage was released by Paul himself, showcasing the events of the night. People were smashing windows and taking everything in sight, while Paul posted a statement on Twitter claiming that he had nothing to do with the riots and they were exclusively there as observers. However, this video did show Jake interviewing looters in the mall. Of course, groups were recognizing him immediately. Thankfully, the authorities stepped in to make their move on Jake, who told his fans, "No cap, that's tear gas. How is that English?" However, that was just the situation Disney needed to finally fire this dude. According to Disney, Jake's reckless public behavior was very well known to them at the time. There had been plans in place to simply address the issues and learn from it, but following the events in Scottsdale, they had no choice but to just cut ties with him entirely. He was charged with criminal trespassing, and while Jake's videos may still rack up millions of views online, he's certainly no celebrity anymore. His defense for the Scottsdale event was that he was documenting it as a, quote, public service. So if I videotape my friend stealing a Star Wars mug from Hot Topic, is that also a public service, or is that it being a criminal? I don't know, you tell me. Those are the Disney celebrities that lost their fame. Are there any Disney darlings that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. I now owe you $6. It's the law. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy our content on the channel always, and as always, thanks for stopping beyond the screen today, and we'll see you next time.